reality that you're experiencing around you every moment of every day. You just don't know it. And that thing is patient as hell too. Your thoughts become your realities. And the degree to which you understand the strength of your thoughts determines the time that it requires for those thoughts to be made manifest. There are 3 layers in the throat chakra. The first layer is self-aware. The second layer is self-actualizing. The third layer is self-transcend. Self-transcend only happens, and that's what I would call the magic layer. It only happens when we learn to transcend beyond duality. We no longer perceive duality in terms of duality. We realize that the light needs the dark as much as the darkness needs the light. When I go to buy a diamond, I don't buy a diamond without looking at it, in front of a black velvet cloth that absorbs all the other light around it so that it can shine more brilliantly. One serves the other. We go see the play, Phantom of the Opera, and we see Phantom of the Opera. At the very end, we all give the standing ovation to the villain, Phantom, who's wearing a yin-yang mask. Start realizing that you're creating this environment around you and all the experiences. What do the 13 families really represent? They represent the 13 circles on Metatron's cube. You could look at this and say, oh, this Metatron guy, what the heck? This archangel, he's got us all in this matrix and we're all trapped in here. We've got to basically figure out how to escape Earth. And that's like a game, Escape Earth. Let's escape planet Earth, like an escape room. But actually, the truth is we put ourselves in here because we wanted to transcend. And the game of Escape Earth is that the only way to actually transcend this place and this experience is to fall in love with it just as it is. To fall in love with it just as it is, with all its duality and all of the game. To realize that this was made as a beautiful song. Now, the 13 families are just a metaphor for the 13 musical intervals. The 13 musical intervals are the Pythagorean intervals, the perfect fifth, the major third, the minor sixth, the major second, the minor second. These are all musical intervals that, by the way, show up in the exact perfect proportions of all 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau. So Menkaure, and you want to know the purpose of the pyramids? Menkaure pyramid is 5/4. That's the major third. Embedded in that is also the minor sixth because it's the inverse. It's the exact same 2 notes. And when we listen to the minor third, we listen to the major third, we have certain emotions that come as a result of listening to music. When we listen to Star Wars and there's a theme and Darth Vader enters the room, what do we hear? Dun, 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 dun. These are all diminished fifths, augmented fourths. They're like nasty sounding discordant sounds. Those are the proportions of the Great Pyramid. The other 2 pyramids are all together the summation of all 13 musical intervals perfectly in their proportions. But interestingly, if we listen to the major third, we think romantic love. It sounds beautiful. Da, 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 da. Be a fifth, right? We got thirds and fifths. We love that sound. It's beautiful. We do. Anyone that plays piano always wants to play those chords, those perfect fifths and perfect fourths and major thirds because they denote love. But embedded in that, the exact same 2 notes just played in descending order versus ascending order, change the time, flip the time backwards. And immediately we listen to a minor sixth, which is the opposite of a major third. And we say, that sounds like heartbreak and tragedy. Wait, so that means I look at the pyramid, I'm looking at the architecture of romantic love and heartbreak simultaneously. Does that mean that if I understand the concept that geometry is just the music that we listen to with our eyes, and therefore architecture is just the embodiment and material form of that geometric structure, we're really looking at music. And if we're really looking at music, and one way is giving me feelings of emotion, of romantic and divine love, and the other way, just as a time function, the axis. I lose you for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So
pretty much after architecture.
If one direction is a major third and it feels like love, and the opposite direction is the minor sixth, and it feels like heartbreak, What is that telling us about life? It's telling us that in the experience of romantic love is embedded the seed of heartbreak. You cannot have one without the other. They're connected, just as we cannot have light without the darkness. We cannot have pleasure without experiencing the pain. This is why we must learn through opposites. The higher degree that we're able to break our hearts, the more capacity we can experience for love.
Oof.
We have to tear our muscles to make them stronger, and we have to break our spirit sometimes to make it transcend.
What have been your biggest soul crushing moments that you found the most growth from?
Betrayal.
How do you bounce back from betrayal?
Accept it for what it is and realize that I chose it all.
How about you,
Realize
Adam?
that
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I shouldn't judge it anymore.